Greetings, welcome back to Pink Odd Bird. Today I'm doing something a little different, and excuse the mess. I'm currently working on some space books that I was actually hoping to have available for you guys today, but they're not quite ready yet, so I decided to stop and film this video and then continue working on my books. And so hopefully a little bit later this week I will have those available in my Etsy store, and I will also come back and do a video on those as well soon. So for today, what I plan to do is share my new Gothic digital kit with you guys, as I promised. I think I started mentioning it in December, and you guys said that you would be interested in sort of like a Gothic kit. And so what I decided to do was put together, I just basically compiled a collection of some of my current favorites. And I have a lot, but I thought that it would be a little bit better to just kind of like spread it out. So this is going to be Danse Macabre, and it is going to be my Gothic digital kit number 1. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this ephemera and see what it looks like. So these, when I was printing them out originally, they are from a like a death registry kind of book, where it basically notes all of the different cause of death. And you can Google what Danse Macabre means. And if you're not familiar with that term, it basically just kind of means death is like the inevitable thing. So these two pieces here are basically like from a death registry, where they noted all of the different types of causes of death that were happening. And I found a couple that I just picked out, and the entire book that I have is not actually filled with all of the different entries. There's some blank pages in it as well, so I wanted to include an option for both. Now when I went to print these, they printed out like this, and you'll notice what the difference is. It's fully landscape and fully taking up the whole page, and it's also chopping off some of the top. And I was like, why is that happening? So I went to print it again, and I realized that I had the page print to full page, which was causing that to happen. So if you don't want it to be on print to full page, and I'm not terribly even mad at this layout, because you can still fold this and it'd make a really nice page in your journal, but the intended original way is like this. And this way, surprisingly, it doesn't even distort the image or anything, so I was kind of happy about that. So if you unclick fit to page, this is the true way that it's intended to print, but this one is blank, so obviously this can be used as a nice piece of ephemera in your book. And this one is the one that has the writing on it, so you can actually really easily read. This one is from the person was, let's see, their father was from Norway. They were born in Norway. Let's see. They were born in 1828, and the date of the death was April 24th, 1908. So definitely an antique piece, and these are all pieces that I own the originals of, so really special to me. So I'm more than happy to share these with you guys. So this piece here is, and I printed all these on 65-pound cardstock, so that leaves you the room to, like, if you do the same thing, you can obviously back them on coffee stained paper or heavier cardstock, or whatever you want to do to make them like a little bit more sturdy. So here is a Remembrance card, and this one is from 1887. And so of course the original is on some really thick chipboard, but here's how this one looks, and I really like the look of the way, you know, these came out. So that one's really pretty. And then also included is a sympathy card, and I know this one's a little bit hard to read, but this was originally metallic in the original, but I thought that it would still be kind of fun to add, because you can still read what it says. You do not bear this grief alone. Like, you can still read it, and then somebody had put their name down here, so that's kind of a neat one. And on all of these, like if I was going to use this one, the original has rounded corners, so you can just use your corner rounder and do like maybe the 1/4 round on these, and it would look just like the original. So this one here, caskets and coffins. So this is a receipt from 1884, and basically this is how the original looked, and this is probably one of my favorites, but you can see here caskets, coffins, and everything pertaining to funerals at short notice and reasonable rates. Patient corpse preservers in use. So here is how the digital of this one is going to look as well. All right, so the next couple of pieces are some that I picked these out when I was at a local thrift store, and I saw them, and I was almost just going to get the one. And then I saw the other picture, and I was like, I feel like, because this picture was labeled, I believe it was 1884 or 1882. And on the back of the original, it had written 1882, I believe. And so this is obviously the lady in 1882. The picture that was sitting next to it was this one. And on the back of this one was written, I believe, 1886. And so I felt like I couldn't, just because I was just going to get this one originally. And I felt like I couldn't leave this one behind, because I felt like maybe looks to be maybe about 4 years old. So maybe at some point between here and here, she had a baby. And so I was like, they have to stay together. So these are the two beautiful photos they were like cabinet cards. Again, you can back them so they become like really pretty, strong, pieces in your journals. Up next, this one is a handwritten letter which served as a receipt for, I can't make out the first name, Benji Taylor, $4 something pay for digging a grave. Basically, he dug a grave and he got paid $4 for it. So this was kind of like the receipt. So you can see here he wrote $4. So yeah, that's that piece. And the original does look like this. It was all folded. So you can continue, you can like fold this in those same spots and distress, and then you have really nice looking. And even if you printed this on something that wasn't cardstock and tore it like how the original was torn, you get something that looks really authentic. So that's really fun. Next we have this one, and you can see here it says blacksmith, carriage, and woodwork. And so basically this is a person who built coffins, and so this was a receipt for a coffin that they built, and it's for a man who died at something Standbacks. I can't really make it out, but it cost $250. So and that's from 1902. So up next we have another receipt, and this one is also for undertaking, and you can see something as it pertained to undertaking here cost this person $11.95 in 1904. So I think this one is a really neat piece. These here are from an art book that I picked up that came from, I want to say, I'll put it on the screen because I can't really remember offhand, but it's from a college and in Maryland, and it's like, I want to say it's in the range of like before 1915, I want to say, and somewhere late 1800s, somewhere in that range. But they're really cool, and the book actually had some really neat ones. I think it had like leaves and some other things like that, maybe houses. But I thought these here were kind of cool because they look sort of Gothic-esque to me, and you can use these in different ways. You can shrink these down and make them smaller journaling cards, but these are true to the original size. So you can shrink them down and make them smaller journaling cards, or you can fold them in half and put them as little pages in your book, or you can cut them in half and use them as pockets or journaling cards. A lot of things you can do with those. And then this here, that's what this one looks like. And so they're basically practicing their mustaches and noses, and then the different types of hair that they can do on mustaches and eyebrows. So I think those are really fun and unique. And then the last piece here is from the state of Mississippi, 1903, November 1903. It's another handwritten letter, and this is another one that you can print on regular paper and copy stain it, and it's gonna look super cool. This one is on cardstock, but you know, all the same, you can still tear it apart and collage with it or anything like that. But this is you guys, I mean, I feel like, okay, let me just say that I feel like I am happy to make this kit because there is a void for finding, you know, some cool pieces of like macabre ephemera like this that are original and authentic, and especially coming from me, someone who loves all things related to everything about all of this. So I really just hope that you guys can take this for, you know, the creative value that I'm putting it out there for, and just, you know, make something cool with it. And, you know, I do all of this out of love and respect. So I just want to definitely, you know, make that very clear, because, you know, it's something that I love. I'm overcome with this like theme and topic, and it's my favorite. So, yeah, I just wanted to state that really quick. So this one here is, like I said, 1903, and basically it's like a statement. I forgot what they're called. It's something with an I. Incitement? I forget what it's called. But the person is basically recounting what happened. And essentially, this person was struck by a locomotive, and it says that in here. So you can kind of read it and make out what they're saying here. And then also down here is just some of the payments that they had to dish out. So this here is the entire collection of set number 1, Danse Macabre. And I hope you guys all really like this and pick it up and use it in your creations, because I will be coming back sometime soon. I have still more stuff from the dark release that I need to get working on, and I will be using these in those books coming up soon. But I hope that you all like this, and we'll take a moment to pop over into my Etsy store and check it out. So if you do, have fun with them, and if you're just here to hang out with me for a little bit, I appreciate you too. And I think that is gonna wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned, because you never know what direction this odd block of ours is heading into. And until next time, cheers.